This is my third 10 minutes, so what I'd like to do is just a slight recap. There's a lot of new people obviously sat around the table, so a slight recap of the first two, if you like, and then talk about how we see it going forward as a company in our sort of web to print solution. Right, so personal information. I basically, as I say, my entire career has been in the printing industry. Went more or less from school straight into become a trainee estimator. It was a fantastic grounding for the whole of the printing industry, because obviously, as you can imagine, when you're pricing up every single job, you get to know about every aspect of the business. So I spent 6-7 years doing that, and from that I was in a very good organisation that basically saw that as a stepping stone to either go into production or sales. So I chose the sales route and spent sort of 10 years in Colchester working for that particular company on the sales side, mainly London clients. And again, it was right across the board in print. I then decided to set my own business up. Burning desire to set my own business up. Did that for 12 years. So people around the table may have thought I'm in a slightly different situation to you, being a sort of director of a larger company. But I know exactly what it's like to run your own business completely from scratch, right the way through to sort of £500,000 turnover. I was then approached by the MD of Circle Services. He's sort of gradually on the sort of wind down to retirement. A few years to go, and he basically was looking for sort of a team to take it forward with his daughter into the 21st century. So in 2012 I basically sort of merged my business into Circle Services, and ever since then that's basically what we've been trying to do, is sort of get the company sort of into the 21st century and push on really. In terms of Circle Services, it's a 60-year-old company. It's still owned by, or the senior shareholder is still Martin Austin, who is the son of the guy who actually sort of started Circle in the first place. It's always been sort of one of the real sort of market leaders almost in the country really for printing companies. It was the first printing company in the UK to have a digital colour machine, and Martin and the whole of the team have always prided themselves in the fact that we've tried to stay ahead of the game really. Over the course of time we've established ourselves that we can, as I say every week, we can sort of help you from sort of very, very small and single colour and simple work, right the way through to full colour and sort of huge runs of work. We've got these two massive machines in our factory. Factory's 18,000 square foot, which we've had for 30 years there. And last year we also invested in the iGen machine, which you've heard me mention before, which is basically a £330,000 digital colour machine. That's the sort of machine that personalises to the nth degree really. When you get something through your door and your name's been reversed out of a photograph, it's that sort of machine that does it. So we've sort of spent the last year sort of out there particularly searching for work for that particular machine, because as you can imagine it's quite a beast to fill up. In terms of going forward, last year we invested in the web to print side. We took over Redlin in Chelmsford, and that was one of the things that they'd got into. So they already had a couple of nice clients there that they had landed in their sort of first sort of 6 months of doing that. And in the last couple of months we've upgraded the whole sort of web to print solution. The web to print solution is basically sort of a software package, which is a web-based software package that we sort of sell to customers, and we can brand up a complete website, which is their website, and they log on to it, obviously just like they would log on to their normal website, but they've got tabs down the side which they can personalise to themselves to order any of their printing products whatsoever. So instead of having to sort of phone us, email us, and you get all the sort of back and forth of proof or whatever, all they literally need to do, it's a bit like sort of logging onto their own Amazon site really. They just log on, they can choose any array of their printing products. They're all saved as PDFs. They can choose a quantity, and up comes the price, and then they literally sort of just click the button as you would. Some of the clients go through a shopping cart system to pay, but obviously a lot of the clients are account customers. It doesn't matter to us, and it depends on which way round the customer wants to work. But basically those orders then, they can check their proofs on there as well. Their orders then go straight into our MIS system in the factory. So it completely bypasses any need for sort of our staff getting involved. They can concentrate on the bespoke work that they're doing anyway. It raises a work ticket in our factory ready for the printer, and the actual digital file gets pulled out of our system and literally lined up, ready either in repro, or if it's a digital job, lined up on the digital machine ready to go. So it's a completely automated system. As you can imagine, being so automated is a massive price saving. We've got a couple of organisations where it's particularly suited to worldwide organisations. We've got two where the head office is in America, but they've got big London office. And basically we take the print orders from their entire European offices, and some have even got offices in Russia. And it's great for these massive organisations because obviously their corporate image is safe because it's all coming out of our factory in Southend, and also the price cannot be beaten anywhere in the world because of the volume. Everybody can take advantage of the volume. So even if they've got a little satellite office in Spain, they can order business cards at £20 or letterheads at sort of £25 or whatever, which they can't get anywhere in the world, just purely because they're using the buying power of the large organisation. Because basically you're buying, everything is set up on the system based on sort of the volume that the entire organisation is sort of spending. We ship out all around the world within 4 to 5 days, and again, everything is raised automatically through the system from the order that comes to us on there. The biggest new benefit of the upgrade is the fact that we can actually now sell, people can use it as a portal for their own services basically. We were at a financial organisation in London yesterday, and they're now going to sell, they sell to accountants, and they also brand their own products for accountants, so accountants can send out sort of with their branded products as if they're selling these services as well. And they absolutely loved it and signed up for it straight away, because not only can we do obviously all the brochures for all of their customers, they've got 2,000 customers as well, through the web to print solution. So they didn't know how they were going to cope with it basically, but also we can actually sell their policies, or they can use our this web solution to sell their policies through the site. That might apply to some people around the table in terms of insurance and things like that. It may be a way of getting into some of the large organisations yourselves. You might be able to sort of get in, and we can literally produce a button on the system that uses the website itself as a portal for any service. And really it's almost a case of you would dictate to us, or your contacts would dictate to us exactly what you need it to do. And if it's a web solution that you can put through for your business or your contact's business, then it can be done through our web to print system. Talking to David Dyack, for instance, I mean, we can literally we can put a button on any of these websites for office stationery, and it can link straight through to him. We don't have to get involved. Nobody has to get involved. It's all completely automatic. So it's a real sort of win-win situation. He's looking at clients where he can do it, and it sort of reverses so that he can help them with their print. We're doing it so we can bolt it on, and obviously people can also order office stationery through exactly the same site. The sorts of customers that solution is suitable for, generally it's larger firms with multiple offices or charities, just purely because of the logistics. They love the fact that head office can dictate everything, and then they can just put the instruction out, and people all around the world or Europe can actually sort of order from any of these offices. Charities, we've got the NCT. They're doing their entire print solution through us, and we do all the packs. All the postnatal and antenatal packs are produced between us and sort of outworkers, in terms of, because they come in PVC boxes. We store it all. We have a 6,000 square foot storage facility as well, so we store absolutely everything, even their towels and things like that. And we're taking orders all day long through the web solution, basically for these packs. And we've got people down the road that pick all these packs, send them off. So the NCT do everything through us, and then the firefighters charity as well. Again, we do every bit of their print, including all their mailings, but also they send all their buckets and bits and bobs and things like that for us. And every single one of their events, all their volunteers for all of their events, whenever you see a car wash, it's the firefighters charity and things like that. We've actually supplied everything for that by whoever it was that was organising that event. Has got a username and a password. They log onto the website, and they just literally order exactly what they want. Some of it will be printing, some of it won't be, obviously, if it's collection buckets. We do the printed bit, we put it together with the other bits, and we send it all off, all within a couple of days. So it's those sorts of clients that we're looking for, really. It can lend itself to smaller companies like the one in London. It's surprisingly cheap, really, because the whole solution to set up is literally about £2,500 with a small monthly charge. But the savings, this company in Langdon have got a print spend of £40,000 to £50,000 a year, and basically there's at least a 10% saving on all the products. So obviously they're actually going to make money in the first year by having the web to print solution in the first place. And as I say, they can actually sell more of their products through our sort of website to help grow their own business, as well as make their lives a lot easier with the print solutions. So I think that's about it, really. If anyone's got any questions, I should take questions.
Trevor, can I ask you a question? Previous 60 seconds and 10 minutes, you've always done promotional offers, like the midweek madness, etc. You do. Are you doing anything that's coming up next couple of weeks for Christmas, or any offers for leafleting about?
I think there's another offer coming out for, I don't know if it's November and December, or just December, with regard to sort of the website. I mean, the Midweek Madness runs weekly anyway.
Wednesday, is it?
Sorry?
Wednesdays?
Yes, yeah, basically anything that's ordered by Wednesday, by lunchtime on Wednesday, it's mainly leaflets, postcards, it's mainly those products. I don't think it applies to the business cards and folders and things like that, but it's leaflets and postcards, generally marketing materials. They're at a ridiculously low rate every single week, leading up to a Wednesday. So any order that comes in before a lunchtime on Wednesday, we'll produce it sort of Wednesday night and Thursday night, and you're guaranteed delivery by Friday. It's free delivery as well.
Could you give us a guide for the general cost of a leaflet?
Yeah, I mean, you can get sort of 5,000 leaflets for £90, you know, whereas normally it would be sort of £140, £150. So it is a massive saving, and we can get tens and 20,000s as well. Again, it's all based on sort of the volume of orders you take, and you sort of print on a night shift and deliver out. But generally, we can often deliver next day as well with that. I mean, a lot of people around the table have been surprised because their leaflets will turn up on the Thursday after they've ordered them on the Wednesday lunchtime, because we just literally print everything on the Wednesday night shift, and then whatever's left on the Thursday night shift.
Any other questions for Trevor, please?
You mentioned business cards going to Spain at £25, £20–25. Would there be a delivery cost to that?
Basically, what we do is we invoice monthly. All of these people, they can just order as and when. So each country gets a monthly delivery cost, and what we do is we produce. We get sort of like a week turnaround on it. So we encourage them, and they're told by their head office to order within these windows. So I mean, you can imagine, particularly with business cards or whatever, there's very little difference sending out sort of one box of cards to sending out sort of 50 boxes of cards. So the delivery cost is on top for these organisations, but it's surprisingly small because it goes out per country. And again, all the invoicing is automated as well, so it just gets all stored up, and then the invoice automatically emails out to the relevant country. And the web to print solution as well is also automatic in terms of language. So Spain log on, and it automatically comes up in Spanish, French, etc., etc. So we can sort of deal throughout Europe in everyone's own languages as well.
Yes, question. The web to print solution, you talked about the charities as being like a particularly good sell for that. Are there any other business types that, from your experience, you know, would be a good one for it? So just make it easier for us to be aware of.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got Cushman & Wakefield, which is a big property organisation, so sort of real estate. We've got Alere, which is sort of a big medical firm. So particularly those sorts of organisations, obviously NCT doing what they do. So any of these sort of massive, either sort of countrywide or worldwide organisations are particularly suited to it, but really it's anybody that might have multiple offices. Estate agents, we're going to see Anthony at Essex Countryside. We've sort of branded one up already to show him. He's very, very interested, because again, you know, he wants to control everything as you would do as sort of someone who owns that business, but you want all your offices to be able to order easily and take advantage of the sort of bulk saving of the large company.
Everybody happy? Have we got more questions for Trevor? All good? Thank you very much. For a big round of applause.